It is 9.
Sorry. My computer had to wake up a little bit.
All right, I'll do it.
I got it. Computer's not working.
But anyway,
I like having fun. I like to laugh. Good morning. I like to meet people who can make me laugh. Okay. I like having fun. Yes, I do. Yes, I like to laugh. Okay. I like having fun to meet people who laugh. Come on. Come on. Yeah, we got it.
Jesus Christ.
Good morning.
I love this.
Let's get it. Oh.
Hashtag happy.
Woo! Hashtag happy.
Hello, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning.
What you talking about, mister?
Yeah, we're live. Good morning, everybody. Tim Heidecker here. I'm going to be talking directly into camera for once. Instead of staring at my computer, I'm giving you my full attention. Hi, Doug.
You have to say much more?
Wow. Well, we are live here in Glendale, California. It is June 12th. Is it June 12th? June 12th, 2019. And it is one word to describe it here in this part of the world right now. It is H-O-T, hot!
Seasons are changing.
They really are.
The seasons, they do change.
We used to have an... oh, wow, that was abrupt.
Whoa.
I appreciate it, though.
You want the bread? You want the bed?
Nah, it's
Do
okay.
another fade.
Give me some hot summer music, baby. It is hot here.
Let's move ahead more light-footedly.
Who's got the art drops? Is that you, Vic?
I got
Let's
him.
You got
move
the
ahead more.
Oh,
Wow.
I want to. You know what? Today, at some point
I
in the
love
show,
it.
I want to sit and just listen to that whole thing. How long is it? I would. That's a fine piece because a lot of people haven't heard it. It's a fine piece of audio to stop and start and talk about because it is wonderful. It's only 4 minutes or something. I will. That's our tease for the show. We're going to be stopping and starting the famous Art Garfunkel in studio outtake audio. Little his talking to his
It's
producer.
one of my sounds.
It is in my top 10 things of all time. Top 10 videos of goofs. Well, let me just backtrack a sec. It is 100 degrees all week here. Hot, just miserable, right?
Weather's hot.
But we're going to get through it. It's warm in here. I'm wearing shorts today, gang. How about that? Should we show off the shorts?
They're good shorts.
Who's putting those out, Dockers or Land's End?
I can't release the brand. I could release the brand. I can't pronounce the brand.
Uniqlo.
Hi, Dad.
No. They're fantastic fucking shorts, though. They're a brand from a company called Faherty. Capiche?
Fantastic.
It's a small American-made company, just one of the greatest.
Okay.
But they're light. They sit above the knee, and they're very light. They're almost like swim trunks. You know what I mean?
But anyway,
Stop. Well, how are you, Doug?
It's effortless.
I'm okay.
Uh-oh. You want to get into something here? What's going on?
Jesus Christ.
I'll tell you, I don't know. I just had like a weird like dizzy spell right before I got here.
Oh, well, let's move on from that.
I'll tell you
let me say-
afterwards.
no, really? For real?
From the heat?
I don't know. I was parking and then like my
you stressing
eyes got
out?
blurry for a second. I don't know.
Oh, no.
Low
Maybe I
blood.
go.
Did you get something to
We
eat?
should get
No, I
Phil
didn't.
on here.
Nothing.
Talk about the
Get you let's get him a bar.
Yeah, get something.
Get a bar in you.
You want
I'm gonna have some water. I'm fine.
I think you should have a bar.
And lots of
something?
coffee.
I'll keep an eye on you.
Yeah,
If you-
coffee's
if
the
you
way
hit
to
the
go.
floor. Yeah, really.
Well, let me tell you
I
something.
know CPR and stuff like that.
Gather yourself. Take some deep breaths. Do you want a paper bag? Do that trick?
No, I'm okay.
Okay. Yesterday, I was nearly sent directly to hell. I was nearly in a very bad car accident.
Bye
Let me tell you something, folks. I was driving in
Tesla?
the valley. Yes, I was in my Tesla 3. This is breaking news. I have a Tesla 3. It's going to cause shockwaves to my audience.
I love it.
So the greatest thing I've ever owned, except for some
Except for your shorts.
CDs, except for my shorts. And thank God for this car, because it did save my life yesterday. And I was driving in the valley on a street. It was a busy street, like a big street, not a highway.
You were
not
flying
a side
down
street.
the street.
I was not flying. I was driving, probably a little over the speed limit. Who drives the speed limit? I'm not going to lie to you that I was going, yes, officer, I was right on the nose. I was driving, but I was probably going 40 miles an hour or something like that, and went through the intersection and well, let's say, I don't know, 50 yards past the intersection is a gas station parking lot, and this kid flies out of the gas station at like full speed.
Hi, Dad.
Trying to cross my lane into the other lane to go left. Right? Can you picture that? Can you close your eyes and visualize that?
Wait, so you're going...
I'm driving.
You were on the road already.
I'm on the road.
Okay. I don't know if you're pulling out.
No, I'm just driving just driving ahead, straight driving, classic driving. This guy he's like, I'm going to gun it. I'm going to just try to get across the lane to get into the left and turn left.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, I slammed on my brakes, and he was maybe a foot. His driver's side door was a foot from the front of my car. It was a full, you motherfucker! The fuck!
Did you get out?
I gave him a look you wouldn't believe. I gave him the finger. The fuck, man! I was freaked because it was close, guys. I really nearly just totally T-boned him. And I don't know what
So
would
your
have
car
happened.
saved it, but your car kicked in.
Well,
and
it just stopped on a dime.
Yeah.
It just, it came right. It just.
Did it
closed.
auto stop?
It did not auto stop because I just slammed on the brake.
This is craziness.
Because don't those things like
They
detect when
can,
people?
yeah, and they will if I'm going a little too fast. I'm coming up on someone a little too quick. It'll boop 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 boop. Calm down, dude. And yeah, so Chem T on the board says you would have lived, Timmy. I agree. I probably would have lived.
You would have lived.
If I was on my phone, if I was distracted, if I was changing the radio station, if I didn't react exactly how I reacted, which thank God I'm very alert and I'm a great driver. Yes, I did the right move at every step of the way. Every millisecond of that experience was well handled by me. Wow. So God bless me. But can you imagine getting the news?
God bless.
Tim Heidecker, one of the most significant artists of the 21st century.
Dies in 40-mile-an-hour crash.
Our legendary comedian, musician, director, producer.
Can we carry on
actor.
office hours once you go?
I don't. If you
Can you
guys
get a
could get it
stand-in?
together,
Can we get a
if you
replacement?
could get it together. I've said this before, folks. It's time for some of this audience to start getting it through their thick skulls that I'm not going to be around forever. And so I don't know what you're going to. I don't want it to come as a shock.
Bye-bye.
If everybody spends a couple of minutes a day just going, you know what, it's going to happen one of these days. It might not be for a long time. It might be tomorrow. We don't know. He's going to be gone, and we're going to have to frickin' replace. We're just going to have to get on with it. So I just think it's helpful. You know what I mean? It's going to be easy. I just want it to be not hard for you. Doug, the day I die, how will you process that?
I'll join you.
Honestly. Well, we might see, folks, we honestly might see some suicides. I know my family wouldn't be able to handle it. They would go. My immediate family and my extended family were thinking. The aunts, a big mass suicide of people on both sides of the family. We're just thinking that might be the way it's going to go. I mean, I haven't talked to anybody about it, but don't you just you should kind of play it out in your mind.
Should.
Vic, where
Think
you
about
go
it.
off a bridge? Huh?
Yeah, I mean, my career is done.
People,
man,
ladies
after
and
that.
gentlemen, breaking news. People are
I'll
people
cash
are
in, though.
dropping like flies as the news of Tim
I'm gonna
Heidecker's
record
demise spreads across the
I'll
country.
record a tribute album and just cash in that way.
Yeah.
Tour it around.
Tribute album.
Tribute. I saw a.
No, we'll get John Mayer to replace you.
yeah.
I saw a Robin Williams tribute show that's happening at some place, some upstate New York dinner theater. There's like
good times.
an evening with Robin Williams, and it's this impersonator. Do you imagine going to a whole night of that?
Wow.
That is bananas. Yeah,
All these impersonators got to carry on, I guess.
see.
Like when they, like all the Michael Jackson impersonators and everything. You gotta. If
do
you get the plastic surgery, you gotta follow through.
I hate looking for this shit. Oh, here, there's a funny. Before we get to the calls, I want to take your calls today. I'm going to get Jonathan Rado on the phone at 10. We have discussed him calling in. We could do a little more talk of the record or whatever he wants to talk about. Anything you guys want to ask him about, I could pass along. This is a pretty funny Brian Wilson story I found. Somebody sent
I
it to
don't
me.
think it was a funny record. It didn't make me laugh.
Sorry, Doug. What is Louche? Louche, Louche? Louche? When Louche punk rocker? Louche? I don't know that word. Louche? Louche?
Yeah, what is that?
Well, anyways, let's just skip that word. When punk rocker, we don't need to say Louche punk rocker Iggy Pop. We just say punk rocker Iggy Pop.
What's that word?
Yeah, what?
Louche. Louche.
Oh.
Do we know what it means, darling?
Loosh.
What do we know? Well, it doesn't matter.
It's sorted in a rakish or appealing
Ooh,
way.
yeah. Well, now we have to find out what rakish means.
Yeah, I know.
When Louche punk rocker Iggy Pop showed up to a party, he was at first entranced by Brian Wilson's charisma and fell happily into one of the complicated multi-part sing-alongs of Shortening Bread.
Disreputable.
Brian loves to lead.
He loves to leave.
He loves to lead. He loves to lead sing-alongs of Shortening Bread. So what Iggy
Iggy Pop smashed the mic into his forehead.
This is nuts.
Ripped his shirt off.
What Iggy didn't know was that once a coked-up Brian got started with Shortening Bread, he could literally go on for hours, and he still showed no sign of quitting when Iggy, who wore glitter makeup and slashed his own flesh with broken glass in the midst of his performances, not this particular performance, I think they're just giving context of how out there Iggy Pop was. So let me just... And he still showed no signs of quitting when Iggy backed out of the room and turned to Hutton, whoever that is, proclaiming, "I got to get out of here, man. This guy is nuts."
Ooh, rough corral.
The other one that's good is Beach Boy Al Jardine speculates that Wilson's obsession with the song may have begun after he had co-written the song Ding... Is this Shortening Bread?
Yeah.
For the rest of the hour, folks, we're going to sing Shortening Bread to see what it feels like to do an hour of Shortening Bread.
That ain't all Mam's gonna do. She's gonna make a little coffee too. Mam's little baby loves
Shortening bread. Little baby loves
What is shortening bread?
Type
Is that bread that stunts your growth because it's
Shortening bread.
super? It's unhealthy. Wait, is this Brian?
This is it.
Oh.
Shortening.
Imagine this for like 12 hours straight. Even Iggy couldn't
Hours.
take it. Hours.
Wait, listen to this one. Listen to this one, Vic, and Doug, and audience. Beach Boy Al Jardine speculates that Wilson's obsession with the song may have begun after he had co-written the song Ding Dang with Roger McGuinn in the early 70s. McGuinn explained that Wilson had one day come to his house for amphetamines while escaping from his therapist. After McGuinn spent some time crafting Ding Dang with Wilson, he went to bed. The next day, he awoke to Wilson, still awake and still playing Ding Dang on piano. Only one lyric was ever written. I love a girl and I love her madly. I treat her so fine, but she treats me so badly. During sessions for the Beach Boys' Love You, engineer Earl Mankey noted that everybody who showed up got subjected to Ding Dang. Do you have Ding Dang? Woo!
Even when they record it, it's 58 seconds.
Okay,
So
let's
that's-
take a call.
Ding dang.
Let's take a call to get this show started. I don't know why we started with
That's a
weird Beach
great
Boys
fucking
stories.
record, man.
Is there another podcast or radio show in America or perhaps the world that spends this much time on the Beach Boys stories?
Ding dang.
There's probably a Beach Boys podcast that doesn't spend as much time on the Beach Boys. Hello? Anyone
really
home?
frightened me a lot.
Hello, Tim.
Yes, who's
Tim.
this?
Hi, Tim. This is Mike. I'm calling from Downingtown, Pennsylvania. How are you?
What is your
today?
last name? Hunt?
Hey.
Come on,
it's
man.
Wilson.
Mike Wilson.
It's
What can I do for you, buddy?
very common name.
Doylestown, huh? Fucking Doylestown.
Downingtown. I'm from
Downingtown.
Scranton.
Wait, why'd you say
Oh,
Hunt,
the,
Tim?
The office.
Well, what's your first name again?
Mike.
Okay, I heard that one.
Yeah,
Got
there
it.
you go.
Are you on the same page now, Doug, of where I'm going comedically? All right. What can I do for you today?
Dirty pun.
I'm just calling in. What do you think of the Dodgers this year? Are you following the Dodgers? Or are you
Oh,
following
this is what the
Phillies?
audience wants. You know how to
Sports
dial.
and Beach Boys.
Yeah. Well, I am
We
following
like,
the
we like
Dodgers.
our music. We like our baseball.
I am following the Dodgers. I've gone to a couple games, and I watched the game last night. I watch a lot of the games now. I find it much more. It's a better time killer than some of these TV shows.
It's nice to have on in the background.
Yeah.
And I like when I look up once in a while and I see like a manager screaming at an ump or something like that unexpectedly, like little spikes in the.
Well, the Dodgers had a lot of
relative
opportunities last night. They went 1 for 11 with men on base, and they just did not. They did not bring him. They set up the table, but they didn't bring him home, and that was really a disappointment. The Angels had 5 in the first inning. Dodgers crawled back to 3 in the 8th, and had bases loaded in the 8th, and were not able to send those boys home. So, but listen, they're the best team in baseball right now.
A shot for Bellinger.
They're the best team in baseball right now. There's no denying that. They lost 2 to the Angels, but we got a big homestand with the Cubs coming up, and we look forward to kicking some Cubby butt. And we'll be following them. Of course, we had Seager with a hamstring injury last night coming into third. So we're going to be watching that closely and make sure that Seager's been hot lately. Of course, Bellinger's been at the top of the game, looking at MVP for him. The whole team, Ryu's throwing great. Really not too many injuries to speak of. They're primed, but we don't want to see them get into that summer skid where they start dropping games. We want to see that winning streak continue. It's the first series they've lost all season with 12 series wins throughout the season. So, yeah, I'm picking up. I know my baseball.
Baseball. Home run derby.
I'd watch
That
baseball if all the
covered
players were
everything.
mic'd, and you could just
And we send it to manager Dave Roberts.
turn off the commentators and just hear the players talking to each other.
I think we got a big.
I think we got a big
They have
problem.
that setting on MLB TV. They have that setting.
Oh, they do?
I got a big problem with
Players,
their.
they all have lavs on.
It's really nice.
I've got a problem with the
Once in a
bullpen.
while.
I've got a problem with the bullpen. The Dodgers bullpen needs a lot of work. Floro's a bum. Of course, Kelly had a disastrous night the other night, and Stripling is
I like
trouble.
My
So-
Red Sox, but
Huh?
I'm sorry. I like the Red Sox.
Go to hell! Get off my line!
Turn the collar
Now,
up.
now hold on.
Bye-bye.
He's
I think the
up.
bullpen
he's
needs
got
needs some fixing, Tim.
Can we
The
pump up
Bulls
the
keep
I'm a
escaping
Koufax head.
from their pen.
All right, and-
I love the Dodgers though.
Okay, thank you. All right, goodbye.
Take care.
Oh, we just reached 10,000 followers once I started talking about the Dodgers. Everybody tuned in.
Yes.
People are like, I went to a game. Just one last thought on this. I went to a game with Mikey Campman, our guest. He had a last.
Bye-bye.
He had an extra ticket to the Phillies-Dodgers game in town. And so I went, and I grew up a Phillies fan. I would root for them.
It's the best way to watch a game. You don't care who wins.
Well, I would root for the Phillies, but I've become a Dodgers fan. I've been here 15 years, and my kids are growing up here in L.A., and they like to watch baseball, so they're watching the Dodgers. I'm a Dodgers fan. If the Phillies are in it, I would be rooting for them, of course. But I sat next to some Phillies fans, and this guy I sat next to just could not get that I liked the Dodgers, but I was
Mikey?
from Philly. No,
sounds like Mikey.
No, I was surrounded by Phillies fans, actually. This guy was like, I was like, well, listen, I've been here 10 years. He's like, that don't mean shit to me. I've been here 12. Okay? I root for the Phils no matter what.
Then be like, go back to Philly then.
I know.
No,
All
I
right.
get it. It's like you're just grandfathered in and you're stuck for life.
Also, I like watching winners. I like watching teams that win. Like I don't want to follow some. I'm a fair weather fan of any. But like I want to see I don't want to watch some team just kind of like have a losing season, just lose a bunch of games. I want to see guys win.
Are Dodgers fans, though, are they supportive of
You are one
they're not going to yell at you if you're wearing your Phillies hat?
No,
right?
I mean it can get a little dicey depending on where you are, but no, it was from where I sat and I was up in the rafters.
Because it's a melting pot here. Everybody's from everywhere. So
exactly.
It's, like,
It's very supportive.
It's a game.
I mean, the opposite is if you go to Philly. You go to a Philly fucking game.
Well, next time you talk to that fan, be like,
your ass kicked.
Just be like, oh, where are those players from? Are they all from Philly?
Exactly.
Probably not a single player.
Well, Doug, I think you might have made that. That would have been cool. That would be cool if, like, you had the whole for all professional sports, you had to build your team from your community. You could not just trade and bring it and scout guys all over the country. It's like whoever's from Philly, that's your team.
At least some kind of like other league, kind of like what Mugar does. Well, sort of.
Yeah.
But the basketball
Everybody
tournament.
gets a trophy.
Okay, let's take
Put
another
together a
call.
team.
Please, no more sports, people. This audience doesn't kill us. There's plenty of places to talk sports. There's plenty of opportunity. There's like 19 sports talk radio. That you could tune into.
Okay, here
Hello.
we go.
Hello?
Hey, who's this?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, who's this?
Hi.
Our next guest is a writer.
Stop doing that. Stop doing these hellos and shit. It's not fun anymore. Who is this?
I can't hear
Who is this? Who is this?
This is Sally. Sally.
Make some
From
noise.
Atlanta.
Turn
From
the
where?
caller up if you can.
Yeah, can we?
Is there a level on the call?
She's quiet.
The other guy was quiet too.
Is this Sally?
Yeah.
Where are you calling from, Sally?
Atlanta.
Oh, okay. How's it going down there?
It's going to rain, so
It's going
it's
rain?
been raining all week.
Oh, it's raining. How can I help
Yeah,
you
it's
today,
going
Sally?
rain.
This is Sally Field.
Well,
People
I
want
was
to
the
know.
one that sent the email about. I'm not Sally Field. I sent the email about matching with Doug on Tinder.
wait
Can
a
you say
minute.
that one more time? He couldn't. He had his earphones off.
Repeat
I
your.
matched with Doug on Tinder, and then he unmatched from me.
Uh-oh. Wait a minute.
That's not me.
That is you.
Okay.
Is someone
Wait.
impersonating you?
Doug, where's this music?
I'm trying to go to the
Oh,
bathroom.
sorry. It's sneaking Sally through the alley. That's.
Oh, listen.
Oh, fuck yeah, Robert Palmer.
Yeah.
Well, let me just set the table here. Doug, are you comfortable talking about this? If not, I'll hang up on her right now.
Hang up on her. She's a troll.
Bye-bye.
No. Okay. Bye.
Love you. We'll see you next week.
Seriously,
Can I go
Doug?
to the bathroom?
Yeah, go pee. I'll talk to her and get the real scoop.
Yeah.
You requested I hang up on her, but I'm denying the request. So tell me, give me some. I don't know Tinder. I don't know this world of dating on apps. What's happening with this story? Give us the straight story. I don't think you're bullshitting us. I don't think you're a troll. I think you're one of the greats.
So, thank you. I'm not a troll. But on Tinder, you can like set your location to different places, which is kind of catfish-y. But like,
Oh yeah, it's not
I
honest.
don't know.
Okay, so
I
who?
matched with him.
Wait a minute. So you set your location to L.A. or he set it to Atlanta?
Location to Los Angeles, yeah.
You did, you rat. Why'd you do that?
I did.
Why?
Because I was looking for California hotties.
I get it. I get it. There's a bunch of trash down there in Georgia. Bunch of no two motherfuckers looking themselves in the mirror, make themselves sick.
Thank God I'm a country boy.
We love our southern listeners. We have me no disrespect. So, well, okay. So you set your conditions on Tinder to be L.A.
That's so fucked up.
Yeah.
All right. And who'd you get? Zac Efron come up? People like that?
I actually saw Chris Kattan from
Oh, geez.
Wow.
Saturday Night Live.
That Chris Kattan story's nuts. We should talk about that, huh?
He was looking for some hotties too.
Yeah. So anyway, you see Doug up on there?
Yeah.
Now, do you recognize him as Doug Loosenhop from a comedian, Doug Loosenhop?
Yes. And I sent a message that was like, no way, DJ Douggpound.
Yeah.
And he unmatched.
Oh.
Well, how do you unmatch? He matches. He says he denies
You
you.
can like do it without saying anything.
Right. So he just doesn't accept your request for a date.
Communication, yeah.
All right. Well, get over it. Doesn't that happen all the
I thought
time?
it was rude.
But wait, she's
Why? It's his choice. Why should he feel obligated?
But she's also in Georgia, so if someone would have to travel, right, or meet in between or something.
Why is
right?
it? Wait, I want to get back to. Why do you think it's rude that he just didn't, for whatever reason, doesn't want to engage with you? It's his
I
choice.
guess it's not. I don't know, I was just butthurt.
Your butt hurt. Why don't you get out of these lingo bullshit millennial words? Fucking.
I want to feel this guy's
butthurt.
muscles.
Just, why can't you meet some nice guy down there in Georgia? Huh?
There aren't really any.
What's your deal? What do you do? How old are you? I'm looking to date
I'm
outside my
26.
marriage.
I take care of my dad.
Huh?
He's
You're 22. You
in a
take care of
wheelchair.
your dad. What a catch.
26.
26.
And what?
You good looking?
I
In a
think so.
Traditional sense or whatever. I don't know. You don't have a big wart on your face that hair's grown out of. You're not. Your skin
No.
isn't green. You're not wearing a witch's hat. You're not riding around on a broom.
What a mess.
No,
Okay.
not usually.
So, well, listen. I think you have to come to terms with the fact that not everybody is going to just because you're putting stuff out there doesn't mean that they're going to reciprocate. I hope Doug's okay. Does anybody want to check on
Yeah,
him?
that's true. I know.
So, all right, that's it for that. Let's move on. I don't want to get into a whole. This isn't Dr. Drew. You know what I mean? We're here to talk about the Beach Boys and baseball.
Fuck yeah, Al
And
Jardine.
now Vic's left, so it's just my show.
that
Back in the
little Al
old days, I
Jardine
used to
clip.
do it on my own. It did not. People loved it. People say, "Go back to the old days," and he got rid of the Holy Trinity. Hey, man, what can I say? I love doing that, these guys, but I understand. How is it? So, all right, listen, thank you so much. I wish you all the best. I hope you find love. I hope
Yeah.
you find companionship.
Thank you.
Buy my new album.
Okay, bye.
Hey,
I will.
stop it with this not buying my album.
I already listened to it. It was great.
Thank you. Thank you to everybody who said so many nice things about my record. We'll talk a little bit more about that with Jonathan Rado later in the show.
Your show was amazing.
I will talk about that with Rado. But
Okay.
yes, the show on Saturday was legendary. To me, it was a great experience, a great memory that I will have for my entire life. Okay, let's see here, darling. Let's see. What are we doing? Ba-da-boo. Oh, man, I watched that. I'll wait for Doug. Can I take another call, please? Hello?
Hello.
Who's this?
Chase.
Chase Utley from the Dodgers and the Phillies. Nice.
It's
Speaking
Chase from Nashville.
Speaking of Chase from the, can I just say one thing? Chase Utley from the Dodgers,
Yeah.
and who has played for the Phillies for a long time, but ended his career in the Dodgers. They have this thing that where it's like after the game, Sportsnet, where they discuss the game. And for the past couple games I've been watching, Chase Utley is now their commentator. and there's three guys in suits, you know, and Chase is over there on the left. And the one guy is kind of like the play-by-play guy. Then the other two guys are like color commentary, I guess. And each time, the first guy goes, you know, after the game, or he'll be like, Dodgers are ahead by 2. After the game, we'll discuss the injury and whether or not they've what their series ahead. And then the second guy is like, tune in. We'll you know, looking forward to seeing you all. And then Chase doesn't say anything. He just stands there. And like the second time it happened, the middle guy, like looked over to Chase like, okay, anything?
Fill it in.
Yeah, but he had nothing.
So this is new for him? Is this like
I think it's you just, that's the move is you retire, then you get a nice job as a.
Right.
So Chase, what can I do for you, buddy?
Well, actually, I wanted to ask Doug a question, but he's not in the room, so.
Doug is out.
Doug is pushing out the demons.
Do you know what Blarf?
Huh?
With Eric Andre. Do you know about Blarf, the music project with Eric Andre?
No.
Oh, well, he was tagged in a post, and I was just wondering if he's involved in anything.
Next question.
Oh, okay. And I love your album, and I was wondering if you're gonna do any more stuff like Illegal or Insomnia.
Rock and roll, baby.
You're just amazing. Yeah. You're the greatest, man. Oh my gosh.
Well, whatever songs I write, they come out eventually, as if I'm happy with them. So I don't know. I just go with what I'm into. I like you know, when I did this show on Saturday, you saw the picture. I picked up an electric guitar, and it was fun to play electric, man, to rock out. And I mean, it wasn't like heavy or anything, but it was.
There was the one that's like sort of Neil.
Neil
Youngie is
Finally Getting Over You.
Yeah.
We cooked it.
Sounded good.
Cooked it up like hot eggs. All right, I can't stand your ambient noise coming from your mouth.
Someone's.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I think it's my beard.
Oh, it's your beard.
Oh God.
Yeah.
All right. But I appreciate you. I'm taking your question as a compliment because it sounds like you'd want more of that kind of music. Less ballads?
Yeah.
You want less ballads?
You should check out the band Girls. Have you ever listened to
them?
Yeah.
No.
They're good.
New band?
No, they broke up in like 2011, but I think you would enjoy them.
I love that Elvis Costello collection, Girls, Girls, Girls.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that one
That's
was like a
great
best
one.
of. And I remember when I got that, because I liked... Get this guy out. Hang up on him. Sorry, there's too much beard noise. I'll tell you my Elvis Costello thing where I listened. I think I first got drawn into him from Veronica, from the Spike album, right? That was the first experience I had with Elvis Costello. Spike, Veronica.
Was that 86?
88?
87? Something like that.
87.
It was just after he left, they broke up the group.
Yeah.
The Attractions.
And I bought that record, probably bought it on tape, and I listened to it like mad. I loved it. I said, this is my favorite. This guy is the best. God's Comic, Deep, Dark, Truthful Mirror, Veronica, bunch of great songs on that record. But it doesn't. It has a different sound than like the early Attraction stuff, of course. So I didn't know what to get next. I didn't have the internet. I just found like what's the next thing I should get. It was a two-disc CD. So it was CDs. It was a 2-disc CD, Girls, 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 Best of Elvis Costello collection. And I did not like the early stuff for a while. I remember just like skipping through and being like, I don't like this stuff. I remember liking one song on there. It was like Motel Matches, maybe.
Yeah.
And there was kind of a 60s sounding song. And then something clicked where I finally got it, and I got some of those for My Aim Is True, and I got whatever, you know, all those.
This was my first Elvis Costello. Your live show reminded me of this era of Elvis.
Is that this year's model? No.
Yeah, this year's model, second record.
Well, I was channeling a little bit of that. I was also channeling a little the Dylan in the band, kind of like the Dylan 66.
Yeah.
I have my Telecaster. I had a capo on it, so you get that nice kind of thin, higher sound.
Acoustic piano.
Acoustic piano, a little tackiness to it, a little tack piano sound. Great band. Well, anyways, we'll get into that later. Let's take another call. Got a bus outside making some fun noise. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Tim, this is Jim.
Jim! Where are you calling from, Jim?
I'm calling from the Big Apple.
New York.
Walking down the street of the Big Apple right now. I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
I'm a huge deckhead.
You're walking down what, Fifth Avenue?
Walking down, Fifth Avenue right now.
Are you really?
No, I'm not gonna dox myself. Okay.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, we don't want you tracked.
I'm a huge deckhead, and I've been with you since the beginning. And I'm a little offended by you, so I have to just confront you about something.
You're what?
But a little offended by something you said.
Okay, go ahead.
So I went back to some old episodes because I got into the show a little late.
Oh, here I
and
go,
I noticed,
litigating my past. Go ahead.
I noticed whenever you're giving us one of your famous anecdotes from tour and you're in New York City, you got this little snide, dickish little comment where you go, "Oh, New York, I would never live there," but and you kind of just give these little impressions that you're hating on my city.
Uh-huh.
Oh, we have a protester.
Well, I can only be honest with you. I did live there. I did live there, scumbag.
It sounds like you couldn't hack it. That's what I think.
Maybe I couldn't, and maybe
Sounds like
maybe. Guess what? I'm not perfect. I have my own personal preferences of where I want to live. That's my right. I'm not getting shipped around by Joseph Stalin. I'm not getting relocated by my czar or my despot in chief and being told where I'm supposed to live. It's just a hard place to live. The infrastructure of the city's crumbling. The weather's the pits, unless, you get 10 good days there of some nice fall weather, some nice early summer, spring, right? Do you understand that? All the the living conditions, like, it's tiny. You're living in a shoebox. Listen, if I become, some kind of billionaire somehow, sure, I'll get myself a penthouse on Fifth Avenue or some cool fucking spread in the Dakota, like I'm John and Yoko.
Trump Tower,
78th floor of Trump Tower. Right. Get up there and I'll live like a king and I'll spit on you and I'll get Postmates delivered from fucking Ray's Pizza, you cunt.
All right.
And I'll get fucking Katz's Deli shoved up my ass.
Don't you get depressed in the wintertime though when they're going through like
Big
10 feet
time.
of snow?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
That's part of the appeal. It makes you a better person, honestly. I feel like
makes you
move
appreciate
out to
the
the West
you're
and,
rough and grit.
You can't handle the world.
What's the weather like right now?
Extremely windy. I'm getting blown over trying to walk around outside my work. Not particularly enjoyable.
Great. All right. Well, listen. I mean, I do love visiting, like I said. I'm sure, and I just said it's not for me. It's not. I have a family. Where are my kids gonna live? You know what I mean? Where are they gonna? I mean, people do it. I have friends that have kids there, and they live there, and the parks are nice and everything. There's far worse places to live. Trust me. It's just not my personal preference. Okay? Are we good?
All right. I thought we were going to get into something, but I agree with everything you're saying, and I'll let you go. And
by the way, thank you so much, Doug.
I have an idea for Doug.
Okay, I'll pass it along.
Maybe.
He is currently evacuating
things. Could be a bad
things.
idea, but probably is.
What
Perhaps
you got?
you can do like a submit your own drop contest.
Ooh, we could create. You know what we could do is create a Dropbox folder.
A Dropbox.
A Dropbox.
That's a great idea.
Great idea. And we will review. And I'm always sending them things too. That's part of my job.
Yes.
So if you hear a great drop, it might be coming from me. Thank you for your input, your suggestions. You make the show stronger through your listenership, through your support, and through your energy. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Wait, what was I going to tell you
Something
about
New York, your album, your concerts.
I lost my train of thought.
At the show, tons of Office Hours fans came up to me. That's
Wow.
what they love. They love it. So they
love it.
Somebody told me I need to talk more too. So, what do you think of that? Should I do that?
I think you're talking. Just
I think I'm
enough.
talking enough.
You're
yeah.
talking.
Yeah.
You know what I
don't wanna hear
love
that
about? I do listen to the show because I try to do a little quality control.
He's back.
All right, Doug is back. I will respect his privacy and not inquire about the. All right. One thing I do love about listening to the show is Vic, your laugh. You've got you've got kind of like a. It reminds me of Jackie Martling's laugh a little bit. Like it's not forced, but it is.
Right.
It is a.
It's a sincere laugh. Like I love life.
Yeah, and I love.
Did you cultivate your laugh too?
I did. Yeah.
I like when you laugh when I kind of go in on Doug because you feel there's like this kind of
relief,
schoolboy like
Yeah. Here we go.
like oh no.
Yeah, I wear a laugh too much though sometimes. I don't know. Is that?
I've heard no complaints.
Okay, well that's good. Let me know if anybody complains.
Doug, we dropped that caller. We found her to be genuine, but
also a little creepy.
Come on. You have a right to deny engagement with somebody on those platforms, and I think that should be respected, and there should be no expectations about who.
See you, Toots.
Capiche? Wow, nothing but trouble here.
I gotta take this call.
Oh,
fair enough. Doug's bowels are calling him again. He's got the app hooked up where you connect this microchip and you get a call, and then it's like this poor person on the other line has to go, "Hello, Mr. Lucianhop. This is your bowel management service. We would recommend you head to the toilet very soon because you're about to have a mass evacuation." Hello, Mr. How about this? Hello, Mr. Lucianhop. This is John from Bowel Evacuations. This is a recorded call. I'm calling to inform you that you are 3 minutes away from a massive evacuation out of your ass. So if you can get yourself to a toilet, that would be advisable from us. Thank you very much. Is there anything else we can assist you with today?
Poor Doug. I don't think Doug's liking this.
Let me. We don't have to make this about Doug.
Okay.
You be just the guy that has this service,
All right.
and we'll just do the exact same thing I just did.
Excuse me,
ring,
sir.
ring, ring,
sir.
No. You.
Am I the guy that's like getting the call?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello.
Hello. Am I speaking with Vic Berger?
Yeah. What's up? Who is this?
Hi, Vic. This is Robert from Bowel Evacuation Services. You're on a recorded line. Do you have a moment to speak?
Yes, I do.
We just received an alert through our body monitoring service connected to your bowels that you are 3 to 5 minutes from a massive evacuation of your bowels. So we are calling to recommend that you proceed to a public restroom, or if you are in your home, to your private restroom.
I'm on a hike. I'm on a hike right now.
I understand, sir. This, unfortunately, we're unable to provide any more assistance. We're just letting you know that there is a condition developing in your bowels, and we recommend you find a porta potty or some way of being prepared to evacuate your diarrhea.
Well, thanks for the heads up. I'm gonna run towards a porta potty.
Thank you, sir. All right. If there's anything else I can help you with?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
That's the worst when it comes on, like when you don't have any warning.
All right. Hey, let's talk about Mike Huckabee's big monologue.
Oh, yeah.
His big Bill Maher monologue. Why is Bill Maher in the news so much? Has he got a book out or some bullshit? He's always suddenly he's like doing all this press.
He has a lot of controversial guests on too. I think, doesn't he? Like, didn't he have somebody on last week?
Well, he always does, but he's always fucking like. I see him just last week. Like, it's the kind of move you do when you're like promoting something. I can't figure out what he's promoting. I haven't really looked into it. If anybody knows, please. I don't know. Maybe tell me, or maybe not.
Experiencing some real consequences of our bad behavior, it can do a kid some good.
Okay.
So that's Huckabee talking about.
Everybody gets a trophy just for participating.
Yeah. So Huck went on and had this monologue, and he's got a big grand theory of the universe. Can we just play the beginning of it? Or did I send it to you? Everybody gets a trophy, but nobody gets a spanking. That's his theory.
Now, I think I've figured out what's wrong with America right now.
He did it.
It's
Dun,
pretty
ba-da-bum,
simple.
ba-da-bum, ba-da-bum.
Everybody gets a trophy, but nobody gets a spanking. Now, I know I'm going to get eaten alive for saying this, but I don't think younger Americans
get eaten
are
alive
getting
by
prepared
lions
for
or
life.
dogs.
I mean, they've been brought up to believe that everybody gets a trophy just for participating, and there are no winners and losers, and nobody gets a spanking, which I know seems so archaic, but experiencing some real consequences of our bad behavior, it can do a kid some good.
Yeah.
I know that a spanking or being grounded, losing privileges to play video games or watch TV might seem cruel and unusual punishment to the kids who wore a helmet to ride a bike. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
He's doing the old
Who
Seinfeld
only
goof.
play on a playground that has so much rubber underneath, it's like a mattress.
It's like a condom
But
factory,
the
Mike.
fact
Let me
is,
punch you up here.
Everyone doesn't get a trophy in life. Life can be hard.
Hmm.
Sometimes, not only do you fail to get a trophy, you lose badly, and it takes years to recover, if ever. And remember when boys were boys
grim.
and girls were girls? And
Oh,
no
here he
one
goes.
was
All right, now he's
confused
off on a
about
whole
that?
other tangent.
I
Remember
mean-
when boys were boys and girls were girls?
He gets so upset about that.
Girls with their pigtails, and then he goes, and girls could not wait to wear makeup. And boys played with army men, and I just dreamed of it, and I dreamt of it every night.
Why is he against kids wearing helmets though? Like what does he want kids to get hurt for? Because they fall? You know, like doesn't make any sense.
This guy fell off a bike without a helmet.
Yeah,
That's all I know.
That's right.
And by the way, most 5-year-olds can't decide if they'd rather have ice cream or pie instead of broccoli for dinner. But you're going to let them decide their gender identity the same as picking out a sweater to wear on a cool day? Are you kidding me?
No, what?
I'll say it again.
It's just not happening now. It's not how that shit's
not how-
going. It's not like, well, what should we'll let her decide and or him decide, and it'll be a very casual experience for everybody. I mean, I don't know.
My son wears dresses all the time.
Well, I'm gonna beat the shit out of him next time I see him.
Are you kidding me?
That's fine.
It's all fine. Everybody needs to chill out with all this stuff. I watched that thing you sent me of.
Fine with people.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Donald. It is. I watched that Jesse Lee Peterson, Sam Cedar interview. That was wonderful.
Yeah.
I love how Sam just treats him like a little bit it's not patronizing. It's just sort of just like, okay, I'm gonna just try to answer your questions, but I can't take you seriously because you're insane.
The key is not to overreact to what he
Yeah,
says. He's
don't
trying
let
to-
him bait you.
Yeah.
But I think somebody, I don't know if it's for real or not. They asked me to go on his show. I would go on his show too. We have to cook up like an angle because we'd have to goof on it a little bit.
Right.
That Jesse Lee Peterson is wild.
He's a weird dude.
He's a really weird
I don't know how
guy.
he has such an empire.
He does that thing like you agree with me that there's no such thing as racism or white supremacy. Would you agree with that? No, I don't know. I mean, no.
He refers to Trump as the Great White Hope. Like what?
You a Christian or a Jew? What? No.
And he rails
Do you
about.
believe in God? No, I don't want to get into this, man.
He's always railing about deadbeat dads, but he actually is a deadbeat dad.
So much projection going on with everybody these days. Let's take another call. Call Rado in a few minutes, maybe in 10 minutes or so. I don't know. This is a listless show, I guess you could say. A couple of bits coming out of it.
Hello?
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 This one of Doug's Tinder friends?
Oh, one of Doug's Tinder friends. This is Amy.
Hi, Amy. Where are you calling from?
I'm in New Orleans right now.
Tim, Doug had to take off. He had to take off.
Where'd he go?
I don't know. He just said he had to take off.
Tell him to come
got
back.
spooked by the dizzy spell.
Oh, okay. Well, he's got his stuff here and everything. Are we going to be okay?
Yeah,
well, it's okay. I mean, he knows where his stuff is. Let's wish Doug the best. He is having a medical... Was that a
He's
prank?
back? He's back.
What? Are you leaving?
Yeah, I gotta get my stuff.
Oh, so you are leaving.
Jeez, can't I gracefully just
I know,
slip
sorry,
out?
No.
Without,
Sorry.
calling attention to everything. You know what? I'm staying now. Forget it.
Good. Stay. What's the worst that's going to happen? You pass out. We'll take care of you. There's no safer place. I don't want you driving around.
No, lay down on the couch.
Yeah, lay down on the couch and get the mic on you.
How about that?
Come on, Doug.
You all right though? Do you want to? Should we call a doctor? Get Dr.
I'm
Dumpster.
fine.
Over there?
I just got spooked.
Yeah, that's scary.
It's the heat.
I think it was like a minor panic attack or something. You know, when you ever had one of those things?
Oh
where
yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
Of course.
something stresses you out and you get
multiple times a day.
Weather's hot.
Well, I can talk you through this.
All right, doctor. We'll get Dr. Trash
Dr.
Can on
Dumpster.
here.
Yeah, really. Got Dr. Dumpster. Doug.
I started thinking about
Doug.
Phil. Did I have a stroke? Am I
I
am
did
gonna...
a whole
Doug,
thing a
listen
couple
to
years
me.
ago.
Listen to me. You are in a safe place. You are surrounded by love. You're surrounded by friendship.
Chicken tender.
He's back on it. There he is.
Okay. All right, just stay with.
And
Seriously,
we
though,
we can stop talking about it.
But if you want to lay down on this couch, I would recommend that too. Maybe that's what you need. A little R&R. Actually,
What's it
Doug,
like
I need you
being
to go.
the coolest guy. And
Let me. I need you to drive down to Anaheim and meet my kids at Disneyland. Would that be something that would be less unstressful for you? Help your panic attack.
Let's do it.
All right. So let's take. We got Amy on the line, Doug.
What does she got to say about me? She gonna throw me under the bus too?
No. What is going on with you, Amy? How can I help you today?
Well, I wanted to talk to you because my boyfriend listens to you every night to fall asleep. He
Oh.
listens to this podcast.
What a loving
So
relationship.
good looking. Oh my gosh, you should
Isn't
see
it-
him.
To fall asleep?
Yeah, this show is not boring.
To fall asleep.
But that's
So listening to you two right now, it's not soothing. Although you did get a little, this is a safe space.
That was a
Maybe
nice
that's what
little
he's doing.
isolated moment. But in general, yeah, I'm shouting, "Hey, don't go to sleep!"
Yeah, that doesn't help out.
This is.
And that's the biggest problem is when he starts laughing at y'all, it's like convulsions. And we're laying in bed together, and all of a sudden he's convulsing, laughing at what y'all are saying. So I just wanted to get a grasp of what does happen on office hours.
Well, so you're not a listener yourself,
Ooh, rough corral.
No, he's tried.
and you're not
tried.
interested.
I mean, I just have these negative feelings towards y'all solely because of the sleeping situation.
Well, that's not on me. It's on your boyfriend.
Wait, what do you mean he's
I know,
convulsing?
and
What
I'm
is
hoping
he?
that he hears this.
Oh, so
But
now.
you're lovely. You sound just lovely.
So wait a minute. We are now talking. We're doing a meta thing now where we are having a conversation. At some point tonight or tomorrow night, your boyfriend is going to start hearing us talking about him as he's trying to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So that's pretty
Hopefully
wild.
so.
Let's send him some messages.
Hopefully so.
I love this.
What's your
Let's send
name?
him some
What's his
messages.
name?
His name is Grant. He's
Grant.
very handsome.
All right. Why are you two like going to sleep with headphones in and not like hugging and snuggling and saying, "Good night, sweetie. I love you so much, Amy."
That is a question
I want
you
to
need
feel
to
this
ask
guy's
him.
muscles.
Grant, listen, I'm talking to you, buddy. I'm talking to you right now. I know your eyes are closed. You're like cackling like a little nitwit. I love office hours. I love Doug. I love Vic. I love all their drops. I love how mad that Tim gets at them. I love the stories. I love hearing about Brian Wilson.
That's what puts him to sleep.
Grant.
I don't like my club at all.
All right, stop.
pretty frightening.
Press pause, baby. Use our show in the car. Use it when you're cleaning up around the house. Stop with this going to sleep and spend some quality time with your girlfriend. Make her your wife. Make her your wife. Amy is a wonderful person.
Or get us listen to it together.
Listen to it together.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he wants, and you refuse to do
yeah.
that. This is on you, Amy. You need to embrace this show.
Yeah.
You're gonna love it.
Get a headphone splitter, put it on.
Or if it's the two of you in the bedroom, just have it come out of the speaker.
Or one ear for each.
You know,
Is there a compromise we can make where you guys listen to like a half hour of the show before bed?
I think the compromise is we just listen to your show, not when it's time to go to bed.
That's fine.
When it's time to go to bed, put in one of those sound machines or, I don't know, lullabies.
White noise.
What's your sleeping
people go to
What's your
sleep.
sleeping situation? Is there a lot of noise around there? Like, why can't you guys? Is it not easy to get to sleep where you are?
No, it's so easy to get to sleep. We live in a quiet part of New Orleans. We're not on Bourbon Street.
Cool.
It's quiet. It's beautiful. You
All
should
right.
be fine.
By the way, condolences to Dr. John. Condolences to you for your
Thank
Dr.
you.
John loss. It just won't be the same city
Thank
without
you.
it.
Bye-bye.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
It's been a hard week down here. Thank you.
I wish you all the best. Sorry, go ahead,
This
Doug.
would be when you do your Cajun voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a lot of that last week. I don't know how much people love it. I put out my year in pies every once in a while because somebody tweets it, you know?
Year in pies?
Oh, yeah.
My year in pies tweet. Kind of a famous video of mine. Wow, I just saw this.
I don't know what that is.
I just saw this text from you, Doug, and it feels like this weird thing that happened in the past. We've gotten through it. We've gotten past it. But let's take another call. Wait, can we do the let's do the art.
Oh yeah.
The art stuff. Wait, no, I'll save that for Rado because he's probably gonna run out of things to talk about. Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Who's this?
Hello?
Hello. Who's this?
Hello?
Hello. Who's this?
I can't hear you.
Did that guy just hang up?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hello?
Hey, who's this?
No, I'm here.
Who are
My
you?
name is Paul.
Hey, it's Paul McCartney calling in.
Paul McCartney, man.
Yeah. Hey, Paul, how's tour going?
Oh, it was great. We were with the Kinks.
Fuck off, man. What a bad improviser. I mean, that's a bad improvisation.
Rocket, man.
Can you imagine? That was your first instinct. We're playing with the Kinks. No, you're not. You disrupted the universe I was trying to build.
That's gone.
They never played together. You don't think? You don't think
Of
the Kinks
course,
still
they
open
did.
for
No,
them?
they played like at Blackpool '65, the big Christmas show.
Oh.
Anyways, how can I help you, Paul?
Peace and love. What do you think about have you listened to any of the new Bob Dylan,
Get that out there. It's a huge
Thunder,
truck. Doug.
Look at there it goes.
Hey. Hey. There's a big hay truck rolling past
He's
our
about
window.
to bail.
It's pretty funny to go, hey. Pretty funny if you were here. What, the new Dylan? Love it, dude. I want to see if I could turn Doug onto this.
You like the new Dylan?
Well, I like anything Dylan, but I'm gonna see if I could turn you onto this, Doug.
It's not new Dylan.
No, it's
Old
live
Dylan.
from '75.
There's no way new Dylan could be good. Brand new.
No, I love new Dylan because he does these like standards.
Let's hear a new song, not a standard, new, original, new
But
music.
I don't. Hold on, I want to see if I can turn Doug onto something. Just because this fucking cooks, I love it.
You gonna hear it?
It's so fucking.
Okay. You hear it, see
It's good.
and
it
gonna have
rips.
effect.
It cooks.
I honestly think that was his best live period.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Period.
What year did you say that was again?
75.
Ah, okay.
He's just full of fucking cocaine. You know, that's what it feels like to me. Just,
Yeah, cocaine. He spread it on his face.
No, that's white clown makeup. But the the documentary. I'm so excited to go home. My kids went to Disneyland today. They're leaving right now. They're down there. They're going to stay over for the night, and I am going to watch that Scorsese, Bob Dylan documentary about the 1975 Rolling Thunder Revue that's coming on now on Netflix. Look up the trailer.
Showing at Disneyland?
What? No, I'm staying at home.
Oh.
I'm not. It's not the reason I'm not going. I have some work to do. I have work.
Where are they staying in Disneyland?
I don't know. At the Magic Castle.
Love you. We'll see you next week.
No, they've got a hotel. They're just going down for the night, and then they can go tomorrow morning. They could go early before the park opens. That's the whole deal. So, anyways, I'm just looking forward to it. I'm going to get some snacks. I'm going to play it loud. People are saying this documentary is phenomenal. If you like Dylan, it is this concert he did.
Is it just a live concert?
No, it's a documentary. So let me just give you the primer on it, okay, Doug? Can I give you the primer?
Yeah.
Just sort of I want you to
Put me to sleep with that husband.
Yeah. You have Bob Dylan come out in 1962. It comes out with a folk record. It doesn't make a lot of waves. Suddenly, he does. The second album he's got. You got your Blowing in the Wind. You know, you've got these great protest songs. He becomes meteoric success.
Is that what he plugs in
explodes.
his guitar?
Say that again.
Does he plug in his guitar?
Not yet. We're
To
not
an
there yet.
acoustic.
That's coming.
He had an acoustic.
Well, no spoiler.
I'm telling a story. He becomes one of the most significant artists in American culture in that period of time. He's almost a god to a lot of people. But he's showing up at the Martin Luther King rally on fucking the Lincoln Memorial, whatever. The big speech.
Back when he was playing the Chitlin circuit.
Yeah, he was playing he was playing with Joan Baez. They're doing the Newport Folk Festival. He's huge. And his songwriting gets better. He starts writing these beautiful, Mr. Tambourine Man. He writes these beautiful songs. It's All Over Now, Baby Blue, one after another. Boom, boom, boom. Folk music he crystallizes what it means to be a folk singer, what it means to be a folk artist in the 60s. He is the king of the mountain. Nobody can top him. And then he's like, you know what? I love fucking rock.
Have you listened to Garcia's solo?
What?
What?
What are you saying?
His solo stuff before he was the Grateful Dead.
Oh, God damn you. Can't you tell I'm delivering a narrative here? And he comes in and says fucking
Who's he talking
Garcia?
about? Bob Weir?
No, Jerry Garcia.
Oh.
I found this Jerry Garcia interview last night. It's so funny because it's like one of those unedited interviews where they use all the raw footage of it. And the guy starts going, so tell me, let's start with what were your musical influences growing up? And he's just like, oh, jeez, man, you really want to go through all that shit? You really want to go, really?
I like it all.
He's so like, really? We're going to talk about that?
Down.
All right, well, and then he has his old spiel. And then they're like, and how about the beginning of the Grateful Dead? And he goes, oh, really? We're going to go through all that shit now? Okay, hold on, let me just bring it up. Kind of shit they'd cut out for their Rolling Stone interview or something. I lost my thread, man. You had to bring up Garcia while I'm painting a picture for Doug.
Bob Dylan, this folk
Trying to
artist
give him a way in.
He was doing folk, and then he said, you were about to say he loves rock and
He's
roll.
like, I love rock and roll. I want to play the blues. I want to play the Chuck Berry. I want to I want to get back to that kind of scene that I grew up with. He picks up some blues guys. He picks up Mike Bloomfield. He gets these guys who are rippers. He says, let's make a rock and roll record. They Bring It On Home. They do Highway 61 Revisited. They bash through those things. Beautiful sounding records. Rock and roll is born. Folk rock is born. Like a Rolling Stone comes out. Boom!
I love records.
He's bigger than ever. People are mad. His folky freaks are all like, well, but dude, you're an acoustic guitar guy. Why can't we have more acoustic guitar music? He's like, fuck you. I do whatever I want. I do whatever the fuck I want. And that's my motto in my career, has always been Dylan's, which is do whatever you fucking want. There'll be an audience. You're going to disappoint some people. They'll catch up. Anyways, he tours. He plays with this band. He gets the band involved. He gets Robbie Robertson, all those guys. Boom. They get a band together. He's touring. He's doing fucking drugs, amphetamines. He's getting thin. He's getting weird. He's wearing sunglasses everywhere. He's the most famous guy in the world. Partying.
Ooh, you whore.
Meeting Andy Warhol. Hanging out. Recording the Blonde on Blonde album, one of the great records of all time. Double album, Sad-Eyed Lady, The Lowlands. Going down to Nashville, working with those country legends, making that music. Then he gets into a fucking motorcycle accident, almost like the accident I got into yesterday.
Let's move ahead more light-footedly.
All right.
I thought you hated motorcycles.
Huh?
I thought you hated motorcyclists.
I do. Well, I do hate motorcyclists.
So do you hate Dylan then? Ha-ha.
No, he's got me now.
He gotcha.
Hey, let's call Jonathan Rado, because he's a Dylan freak, and we could get into it with him.
Jazz rock or whatever it was.
It was that.
Is that art?
Jazz rock or whatever it was.
Hello?
Nicolas Cage.
Jazz rock or whatever it was. That's a pretty good Nicolas Cage.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. You know, when we were working on...
he was so obsessed with his lizards.
When we were working on Raising Arizona, I said to the Easton brothers, I said to the Coen brothers, Joel and Ethan, I said, what's this movie about, man? It's about stealing babies or some shit? I mean, I just couldn't get my head around it. And, then when we figured out whatever his name was, hey, who's there? Is anybody home? We're just trying to call Jonathan Rado, the producer of my album. Hey, I just had to sell my castle because I'm running out of money. So.
Have him.
Wait, is that the thing?
That's
Vic sent?
coming later.
No,
that's
that's
we should tease that too.
What's the thing Vic sent? Can you cue that up, Vic?
yeah,
We have a new outro song featuring vocals by L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah, I was going to say we need to vote on
Looking
that.
forward to premiering that at the end of the show.
Okay, I think we're reaching
Hello.
Mr. Rado.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I think that was a drop.
You sound good, man. You coming in on
Sounds like a stooge.
Are you coming in on Apple
Sounds like a
FaceTime?
crystal.
How's this? Is this better?
You sound great.
My audio's great.
Yeah, where are you? Are you at your studio or are you at home?
No, I'm right at home. I got up maybe 10 minutes ago.
Oh, jeez, look at this
Oh,
rock and
boy.
roller.
You know, I'm living a rock star life.
We tried to get you on last week for the big record premiere, but you were fast asleep like a little baby.
Sleeping.
Where do we begin with you? Of course, the audience. Shut the fuck up! Can you hear all these nitwits in the background?
I really don't get you.
I hear it's coming in crystal clear.
Yeah, it's like you
Billy
listen to
Crystal
the show.
Clear.
Hello.
Ooh, rough crowd.
All right. Now I'm trying to do an interview here.
Here we go.
Jesus, these guys are making me lose my mind here. By the way, Bon Iver's a fan of the show apparently, and he wants to steal Doug and Vic and bring them on the road, playing drops during his Bon Iver.
Bon Iver.
What's that guy's name again? Jason Joseph.
Justin Vincent.
Justin Vincent. He's reviving the career of Bruce Hornsby, isn't he?
I guess he is. Yeah, he's really taken Hornsby under his wing.
He's grabbed him by the horns.
Yeah.
Grab the Bruce by the Hornsby.
Bruced by the Hornsby?
Yeah.
You realize, of course, that we could never be friends.
All right, enough Billy Crystal drops. We get it. Sorry, Rado. This must be just a blast.
It's great.
Okay, good.
It's great. You know, it's like listening to it on the podcasts app.
Yeah. But it's an interactive experience for you now.
But yeah, here I am. This is amazing.
So as some of you may know, most of you probably know, the 10 listeners we have know that this is Jonathan Rado from Foxygen and a world-class, world-renowned producer of many acts, including myself and Tim Heidecker.
I was on the cover of Tape Op, and not a brag.
Whoa!
Tape Op,
Wait, a picture of you?
Magazine. No.
Just
but,
your name.
My name.
Did you ever used to get Tape Op, Doug?
I've checked it out a few times. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of like a nerdy recording.
Yeah.
Publication.
Was it free? Wasn't it free?
Jonathan Rado. My credits are Lemon Twigs, Whitney, Tim Heidecker.
Oh, cool. This was before the Wise Blood record came out, of course.
Yeah, I think he got bumped. From that, but
well, so let's talk about
I read
first of all.
Post-Op magazine.
Let's set you up by talking about what some are saying is already the record of the year is Titanic Rising, the Wise Blood record. This is a phenomenal piece of work, and I think obviously much credit goes to Natalie. She's an incredible musician and songwriter and singer.
She's a genius.
But some of the credit must go to you. Let's be honest.
I'll take it.
Let us not skirt around this, that you are very involved in the production of this record because you are the producer.
That's true.
You're not just showing up like Phil Spector on John Lennon's John Lennon's rock and roll album going like, yeah, it sounds okay. I'll be back in a minute. I got to go shoot somebody.
Yeah, more reverb.
Yeah.
Put more reverb on it. I'll be back.
Make it mono, okay?
Yeah.
So what's your connection to her? Because I remember you brought her up to me a while ago, years ago, saying I'm working with this Wise Blood. You'd like her. She's kind of a folk singer, beautiful Joan Baez kind of voice.
Yeah, well, I was
part of history, Tim, and you blew it.
Yeah, you blew it.
Ah, shit. That would have been cool. But I like the way things played out as they played out. But
yeah, that song didn't make the cut anyway.
Oh,
so.
really? So wait,
Yeah.
there's songs that you guys did that didn't make the cut? What?
Yeah, there's a few that didn't make the final record. I don't know when they'll come out. There's one that's really pretty amazing. It's
What's
like
that?
A true Phil Spector Wall of Sound kind of thing. It's pretty.
But it's
pretty
not
nuts.
on the record.
I had like 12 or 13 people in the room all playing. It's like one big live take with like reverb flowing through the room. It's pretty insane.
Oh
Is
shit!
that going to come out eventually?
Are you backing this
I
up?
hope
Right?
so.
Yeah. Okay. We're off the YouTube right now for some reason. Do I have to? Will it reconnect automatically or something? It's trying. Okay.
Copyright strikes probably.
No, I don't think so. But we're recording it for the podcast, so we can keep talking to you. No, but
Great
let's.
tones.
I think
you did that at Vox.
what I'd like you to do now, Rado, is without spoiling anything or giving too much detail, your first impressions of that, what you've heard so far from that project.
It's a really, really wonderful collection of songs. There's one song on there in particular. Am I allowed to say the title?
Yes.
No. Yes.
You can say it.
It's called Nothing. A song called Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit, Tim! It's your best song.
Is it the Seinfeld of songs?
It's the Seinfeld of songs, in the sense that it is a true classic.
It's a true classic. It's timeless. I listen to it all the time.
Really?
It's great.
Really?
It was stuck in my head for 3 days.
Right, and I played it on our wonderful night on Saturday. Vic got a chance to hear it.
Give
was
us
our
a taste of it, Tim.
I can't.
Can't you just sing a cappella of it in a different key?
No, I'm gonna do it a few times in concert to prime it, but then we have to be patient because it's not a time specific. It's not one of these Trump songs where I feel like I need to get it out.
Who's putting it out? Jaguar Jag?
They better, right, Rado? They better.
I think they better.
Yeah.
I mean,
they'd be nuts.
It's a timeless song. So,
yeah, could be a standard at some point. I do want to, because Vic wanted was
standard.
I'm thinking it's going to be a standard.
Is Brian Wilson going to be singing it at parties?
Like yesterday.
He's like, enough of the shortbread. Let's play
Nothing.
Nothing.
That's a great fucking record, man.
I want to talk briefly about our experience Saturday because Vic was at the show. He was raving about it. I didn't talk about it on the air yet because, but we pulled off what I think is quite a little magic trick that night, didn't we?
We were cooking.
We cooked.
We were really cooking.
And here's how it worked. I get who I consider like a very good collection of musicians some of who played on the record. This guy Drew, who's been helping me on the Natalie record. You on bass. Kane, the drummer, on drums, Mike Bloom on guitar. He played a lot on the record, and Drew on piano. And I was like, can we make this little tight band? We used to go out with this 10-piece band with horns and everybody. It was a big pain in the ass because you do anything with 10 people, it becomes tough.
Yeah.
And we got this lean group together, and we met once. We met on Friday night at your studio, and of course, people had already sort of listened to the song. Maybe. I don't think Kane listened to the songs. Maybe he did once.
No, he doesn't remember how they go.
But he's got it in his heart. He's got it like in his bones, in his DNA, like what the moves are. But we run it once, and then I go, because I was playing acoustic guitar, I'm like, you know what, let me just use this, because the string broke. I was like, let me use this Telecaster, just electric. And then it was like, ooh, this sounds good together. So this is a rock band. We have a rock band.
Yeah, Newport folk,
like Dylan Goes Electric. I mean, maybe more like Dylan in Manchester with the band,
Yeah.
Just put that. Anyways, somehow Judas, people were calling, but nobody was calling Judas in that audience on Saturday night. No, they were eating it up. True. And we managed to sound checked it, played a couple of songs. This is funny. The night before, we were rehearsing. I get home. I get a message from this theater, the Dynasty Typewriter. This guy goes, he finds me on Facebook Messenger, which I never checked. Thank God I did. He goes, just so you know, we don't really have the mics to mic a drum set. We're not really set up for live music, which they knew like weeks and weeks ago that we were coming with a band, and it was a little stressful. But you had such good energy. I wrote you and we're like, what are we going to do? This is a disaster. You're like, let's just chill out. It'll be fine. We'll bring a couple mics. We'll figure it out. It's a small theater. It's going to sound good if we just keep things small and not try to mic everything. And that's what we did. And everybody was raving about the sound.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It sounded great.
It sounded great. You know what I love is when it sounds great on stage.
The sound of applause is not to be ignored.
Sometimes you play you play a show and you don't know what the hell's going on stage. You can't hear yourself.
Effortless.
You can't hear certain members of the band.
Turn it up.
And it becomes very stressful. But I could have lived up on that stage because everybody was just really in a good place musically.
Chords create
Supportive.
feelings.
All right, so do you want to do something fun with us?
Me? Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to play, it's
Do
sort
you
of
have it pulled
popular.
up? I'll pull it up.
It's sort of popular, but I don't think we've done it really on the show, is the Art Garfunkel in studio outtakes.
Oh God. Yeah. It's the best.
It is the best. Wow. So I apologize to audience members that have already heard this a million times because it is popular on the internet, but let's just get into it and we can stop and start and discuss.
I don't know where this is here.
Oh, sorry.
Wait, I think I might have it here.
It's usually the video
Yeah,
with
here
him
it
is
is.
like a big broccoli.
Ran with it. It wanted to have air to mix with its, I don't know. I think I'm starting to hate it, but except I know I love it. It's been chased away somehow.
Okay. All right, let's pause there. So just to set up, this is pulled audio from some 1990-ish Art Garfunkel solo recording where the engineer pulled audio from him talking in the studio, giving notes about the songs and stuff. So let's keep playing.
Somehow something wonderful was lurking behind all of the pausing and the techno realities of our job. Here's a classic case of whatever was fertile about the song, which I was connected with about an hour and a half ago, has ground down. I can't find...
Well, you want to put down one take like that?
Tim, I would like to hear your in-betweens. They're probably like, run it again!
Come on!
Yeah.
Where's my reverb?
Take out all these extra drum things we've added.
Hey! Something like starting from the beginning feels like the right thing to do because it seems to me to be tremendously respected. What does the singer feel like singing it at? Since he knows his own chops, will he be pacing most naturally? And then the rest is for you to say, I see the kind of record that would lead to, but let me try something, and then I'll take direction. But first, I would think comes this fabulous thing called What Comes Natural.
Oh my God! How do you force? Can you imagine forcing that? What comes natural?
Which is really to be respected.
Oh my God! I mean, I don't even have anything to say about this. I just love it so much. I enjoy
the techno realities.
The techno realities of this fabulous concept of what does the singer think? What comes natural? All right, one more.
Sing it and we'll
It's playing.
match
It's just...
up against what you're singing.
Well, it almost...
I love the door squeak. It's like, oh, fuck. Here he comes. God damn it. We're just trying to get through this. This album sucks.
I don't feel it.
The drums.
Distaste for the song is what I feel.
All right, pause. Distaste for the song is what I feel. All right, well, this is your record, man. Should we just call it a day? Why do you need to... Do you have some obligation that you need to put this boring record out?
You know, in order to assess what we just did, my only sense of this question occurs. What do we need? What do we want?
You should just talk to him, Tim.
Oh, yeah. Well, Art, why don't we just, I don't know, try it again or move on to another song if you want?
We now have a hunk of this tape that establishes the groove of the song to play for players when we cut the date.
Oh, cut the date. Is that the worst expression in, like, this guy's coming from studio lingo? Do you ever say cut the date?
What is cut the date?
I think it's
That's
like...
I have thought about that a lot, and I think that they're cutting some sort of demo. I think they're doing like a demo.
Yeah, I know. They're
doing a later date.
Yeah, for when they bring in some other musicians. Like, why not? How did music get so hard and complicated? Like, your energy always seems to be like, let's get some good people that get along well together and start playing the song and start getting sounds together. But this idea of like demoing something to place where it's kind of perfect and then bringing in other musicians.
Art Garfunkel record.
Yeah.
Such bad energy.
Keep going. It is bad energy.
I think we should move on.
I think we should move on. He says.
And we have, the way I sang the opening is a good interpretation. It's very close to the mic and easy. It's not pushed at all. But it's a good way to record me. It's one of my sounds.
My sounds.
How many sounds does Art Garfunkel have? I mean, he's got his high, beautiful, angelic voice. He doesn't do like a growly rock and roll voice.
Have you ever had a sound guy like this, like at a live show, where you're like, "Yeah, I just want to hear myself in the monitor," and they're like, "Now, we could bring down the low end," and like, you know what I mean? They just go overboard with. It's like, "Can I just go get lunch now?"
Yeah. Okay, let me work on that.
It worked good on that take, and that's a good frame of reference as a vocal.
I completely agree. Let's move on.
I completely agree. Let's move on. The guy wants to move on.
That was his last day on the job.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's next?
No, I hear it as a chordal thing, which is in the foundation of the song.
Okay.
It shouldn't do what the chords say, so it's a fundamental change of spine.
I keep going. There's a great one coming up about.
Here you want to find earthbound, because chords create feelings.
Chords create feelings.
This one shapes up as the easiest, most luminous one of all the ones we've done. The one that's sort of zen easy.
Okay, then let's get it on. Let's get on with it.
Did you hear that, Randy? Teeth. That's the key word. We're not going to be so consonant on this one. Now, wait a second. It's not a wrong note. It's an indecision going on, but it's a save, followed by a figure that climbs that I love. It kicked him into an inspired moment. I definitely want to keep that and punch after it.
But how about if he plays the same thing, but just makes it so it doesn't sound like he's hitting a clinker? I mean, it really...
Can we hear the record he's recording?
Smooth it in. It's not a bad note. He's just undecided and late.
He says what year it is at some point.
I like that.
91 or something.
Rado, I like because sometimes when you're in the moment, you can you don't hear or you forgive mistakes, or you don't particularly hear it, but somebody else will, and you know that the engineer has heard that clinker, as he calls it, and realizes it's a problem, right?
Yeah.
He realizes like you're not going to be happy with this later, but Art has now dug himself in to believing that it's a save.
No, it's a save.
It's an intentional lift. It's an intentional move. But the engineer realizes, no, you're going to come back in a month and be like, "Ugh, this is a clam. We have a clam on our hands." but
Randy the engineer.
Yeah, Randy. There's probably a couple more of these, probably, right? A couple more.
We're halfway through here.
Erase the thing you love. Well, my answer is please let me keep the thing I like.
Fine.
So we're right after that. Can you punch? I don't really want to get into a singing version that's like sock. Nor do I want to be heavy on the one beat, the
like
downbeat.
I like his idea
here. It has
here,
to be natural, and yet I don't want to forget that there's a wonderful rock and roll element in the track, a backbeat. So I want to groove with the backbeat and not ignore it. However, I don't want to oversell or force anything, and I don't want to be Sinatra with the Billy May Orchestra sitting on the one beats.
But it's like, okay, then do that. Like, why are you telling me?
He's so analytical.
Right? Why didn't you talk about this before you went in?
He's so analytical about it. He's like just draining all the fun out of making music.
Yeah. I don't need to hear this.
Yeah, what is the song they're doing? Some trash.
The song.
Yeah, do we ever figure out, because how many records could he have put out in the 90s, right? Somebody on the boards knows.
That'd be great if like you go to Subway and the guy's like, well, I don't want to put the lettuce on. On top of the meat, because that would be a choice that would distinguish itself from other sandwiches.
It's old-fashioned to do that. Dee-da, dee-da, da.
You don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that.
Here he goes.
So my job is take the lyric and be 1992 about being myself.
Yes, okay, so he's identified the year they're recording, so it's either 92 or 93,
I want to take the lyric and be 1992 about...
I'm just pulling up his list of books that he was reading in 1992.
Well, that doesn't help us.
I was just wondering if it's influencing him.
Wait, the list of books he was reading in 92
every single book that he's
published?
That he's read since
he's put
1968.
He's got a website where he lists everything he's ever read.
He was reading Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde around this time. The Truly Disadvantaged, Outline of Psychoanalysis.
No, let's find out what album the 1992
Sound and the Fury.
Art Garfunkel album.
That's how he breaks up the chapters in his book. In his autobiography, breaks it up by the books that he read that year.
Right. Did you read that? Yeah. Did you scroll through that autobiography?
I flip through it all the time.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. It's sort of like
that. Nothing
you could sort of treat it like those Brian Eno cards. What are they called? The
Yeah, it's like an oblique strategy.
Yeah, it's an oblique. It's like a very oblique strategies kind of thing because you could open that book up anywhere and just be inspired by its insanity.
It looks like this record never came out because the closest record is 97. So
88 and then 97 is the
This
next
got fucking canned. Once Randy stepped away from the project.
No more.
The problem is.
Well, he's
the
on a
problem.
compilation.
Joe, the problem is Randy has all the masters. Randy has access to the masters. The demos we recorded.
Oh, up till now.
We only have access to Randy's hard drive. And so we're in a real strange place with the record because we have some of the songs, and they're luminous. They're incredibly luminous, and they have a veracity to them and an obliqueness to them that I don't want to lose. But if Randy refuses, because he's been talking with Paul. He's been working with Paul now. And Paul's told Randy to not release my master recordings of the demos. And so I'm in a really strange place. And Art Garfunkel should be putting out the sound of the 2000s. I mean, we should be establishing that tone. But we can't without Randy's demos.
I think this is it.
That wasn't great. This sounds like
This is
Frank
from
Sinatra with the Billy May Orchestra. What the hell?
This is from A League of Their Own.
This is a miss.
I think it's a Hoagie Carmichael.
This is really, he's leaning into that one. This is not luminous. What if Art Garfunkel, the album came out and just ran, coincidentally, one of the reviews was, hardly could consider this a luminous record. He's like, what? How could this be? My entire intention was to make the entire record luminous. He missed it. We missed it. I don't even know what it means to be luminous. It means light, kind of airy. All right. Well, we love Art Garfunkel. God bless him. He's made some of my favorite music. You know, that record, what do you call it? The Bridge Over Troubled Waters record.
Yeah.
That is a great fucking sounding record, man.
Yeah.
It's so
That's
cool.
all Simon.
I know it's all, but Art's in there being a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Let's ask Rado some stuff now.
Well, I did. I interviewed him already.
Anyways, what do you got? What do you got? Some rock star stories or anything cool? How much cocaine did Tim do when he made his record?
Yeah, let's talk for a second about our recording.
Let's talk about your record, Tim.
What about it strikes you?
I wanna hear some dirt.
What is your opinion of it after now that it's because we made it a while ago. We made it in a furious recording week of
Amphetamine fueled week.
Total coffee and fueled experience. We recorded it, we mixed it quickly, and then it sat on the shelf for a while because the record company had other things to do or something. We don't know. But anyways. It eventually did come out, and they've been doing a very good job of getting it out there to people. But what was your memory or experience of recording it, and also your reaction to it now that you've had some distance from it?
I remember recording. We did about a song a day. Really did.
More than that, baby.
What? It wasn't that?
It was more than a song a day. I mean, we probably did two or three. I mean, we did the rhythm tracks to like 3 or 4 songs a day, probably. And then the last 2 days, we did a bunch of overdubs on all of them.
Everybody just cool out.
It was quick.
It was quick.
Here's what I'll tell you. I can't listen to records from the time that they're finished recording to when they come out because it just sounds completely insane to me.
Yeah.
It just sounds like I can't figure out if it sounds good or bad.
Yeah.
Or if it's,
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I was actually, I'll let you finish, but I'll just say leading up to its release, I was like, had a little bit of like a panic of like, what if this was a fucking disaster? What if this is a disaster? Like, what if I don't know? It would never be a disaster, but like, what if we're wrong and it doesn't sound good and it's an embarrassment? But then, so that was what I was feeling like the couple days before it came out. I had that feeling. But then, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I listened to it and that was confirmed. No, it's wonderful. It really sounds to me like just pressing play on the tape machine.
Uh-huh.
And just this studio session just playing out right in front of you.
Right.
It's really incredible. I love the way it flows. I love all the sounds. It brings back the smell of wherever we recorded it. Where the hell were we?
64 Sound in Highland Park, one of these
Still smells good.
old sort of brown and orange studios that used to populate the
real
city.
wooden kind of 70s vibe, and it just sounds exactly like it did.
Yeah.
The day that we were done with it.
Yeah.
And it's incredible.
It is a thing where we played in the room together, and yes, there's some overdubs of organ and stuff because there was only you played so much on this record, and you added so much life to it. And the reviews that are saying nice things about your production is not just you sitting in the studio, dictating things. You're in the studio, you're playing bass, which is the bass playing is really so fun and creative and also charging. But you're playing all these great guitar solos. You're playing the Hammond, which we used kind of as a theme through the record, instead of doing horns or some kind of thing that makes the record sound unified. The Hammond is in a lot of the songs, and so you put so much of your own musicality into the record, and I really am grateful forever for that.
Well, thank you for having me on it. It's really wonderful, and it's so fun to play. It's fun to play good music.
It's fun to play live, isn't it? It was fun to just like amp it up a little bit, rock it out, like play them a little faster, play them a little harder than we would want to record them. All right, we are running long. I gotta go. Thank you so much for your friendship and for your talent and your energy. This guy is not only a great musician, a great producer, a great ear. He's a great human being who's a great energy, a great positive force.
Wow.
That kept that always kept me sane and kept me, even when the show we did, he was always like, we'll bring my drums, and it really reminded me of being back in my high school days, playing in a band, playing with friends, and not doing it for any other reason than the joy of making music. So thank you, friend.
Oh, thank you, friend.
All right.
I appreciate you having me on the show and having me in your life.
All right, that's beautiful. I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye.
Doug, how are you feeling?
Not bad.
Is this it?
Yeah, is the show over?
Yeah. All right, folks. We fun show today. Wait. Pause for 1 sec, Doug. Okay. Perfect place to pause.
Taste, yeah.
You might want to back it up just a touch. I just want to say, Doug sent us this recording by L. Ron Hubbard. He's proposing it as a new end theme song.
Thank you to whoever sent it to me. I can't think of the name offhand.
But we are. I'm dubious about it, but I do.
It sounds like David Wood produced it.
Yeah, it
for
does.
Awesome Show.
Yeah, but I feel like I might put it up on a poll on Twitter to vote if this is our new official ending of the show. I'm leaning towards yes, but something happens once the song kicks in that makes me feel like it might be a bit of a drag. But we could do it. Here it is. Thanks for listening. We'll go out on it so you could really hear it.